Sorry for being tardy.
We like tardy.
Is that what they call him now?
Yeah.
We're only 4 minutes late, I think, aren't we? Because didn't we set it to 10:15 or 10 past?
Yeah, 10:15. It's 90 minutes past now, so it's progress of a kind. Welcome to Dykes Mann. This is the Andrew Tate Appreciation Podcast. Thoughts and prayers. God bless his cotton socks. He went somewhere where he could, where he was allowed to get away with the things, and I think his travel agent should be sued. He was given misinformation. Poor guy.
Agreed. And someone needs to put Thunberg in jail. So
he should be in jail. I think.
Hey, boy.
Definitely string it up. Skipoyo, what's happening, Bat?
And if you haven't already, obviously give us a subscribe and a share and all that bad shit, please.
Please fucking do. We would really appreciate it very much. So
I'm sure we'll be more consistent now as well. We've both been fucking around, so I've been moving and all that, and sick and no voice and all this nonsense.
And he still is sick by the sounds of it. So we're back now.
A little bit of a cough hanging around, but I feel all right. I'm sleeping. I'm feeling all right. Just I was sick probably. Oh, we spoke New Year's Eve, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was I was sick from late Christmas Eve to about the 29th, basically.
Okay. Yeah, it's rough.
Over Christmas, barely any drinking, didn't see anyone apart from a couple of days, and then put a wig on New Year's Eve.
Sweet. I did see big ginger wig. You look like a Merida from Brave. You look good though. I think it suited you.
I think I had a ginger wig and a sombrero by the end of New Year's Eve, but I wasn't even that smashed. I only had 6 drinks. I had a bottle of wine and 2 beers.
Yeah.
But it was enough, and no sleep, and it was just enough to make me a bit manic. But it was fun. It was a good hang.
Yeah.
Jamie's looking all trimmed again. If you go back to the first episode of Refreshing on Epstein last April,
I think it was
18 months ago now.
Yeah. It was
Jamie looked very much like this.
Yes.
How you doing, Brock? Let's get this advertising. They're going to
HP.
Real good. Real good merchant.
I felt like a change of style, Kelly. I was growing wild and I couldn't do fuck all with it, and I just done a Brett Brock. I thought, fuck it, let's just get this haircut out of the way. Job's a good one. Yes.
Agreed.
I
can't wait to flip it. I can't wait to flip this room around because it's going to take me a while because I need to buy stuff and then move the whole thing around. But then might be able to get some bricks back in the life. And what I'm thinking behind me, because when I do that, I'll be able to hang up this sort of stuff and this sort of stuff. This sort of shit. I'm right. I can't hold stuff up. There's something wrong with me.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. That's what it is. You should get that.
And stickers from Andrist and Fat Guy Cooks and all that stuff. So I want behind me like stuff from people that are all right.
Yeah, it'd be good. So get a different, so it's like sponsoring different podcasts without actually using words. It's just like visual merch shit you can see. Fuck it. Why talk about them when you can buy their merch and put it on display for all to see?
Exactly.
Yes. I'm just waiting on. I mean, I've been saying this now since the summer. I'm just waiting on someone just to help me with customized shelves in the back. I don't know what I'm going to go for though. I have no idea what I want to do. I just know I need customized shelves.
In what way customized?
As in rather than just buying like shelves from Amazon or whatever. I mean, look to get
like made to look better sort of thing.
Yeah, so like whether it be like beechwood, driftwood shelves, or like oak beams or whatever. Just that's what I want to go for. But I've yet to settle on something, so I'm just waiting.
Get a couple of hours. Get a couple of hours and sit in there with a glass of wine and look at it. I think
that's the problem. I'll have a couple of glasses and I'll completely forget what I was looking at the wall for in the first place. I like the idea of like making shelving out of like pallet wood, but I have like 2 or 3 like pieces of wood, so it's quite thick and something like that. But I'll see where that goes over the next few weeks.
I'm sure something like that's doable. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Yeah, I might get some sort of shelving up at some point as well. Some sort of temporary stuff.
There'll be on our shelf and shit then as well. So it'll just be bits and pieces, some merch and whatever I want to fucking chuck on there.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah, good times. Good times. So, anything good happen? How was New Year's? All that?
New Year's is fine. We dropped the kids. We went up we spoke New Year's, then jumped on your pod for a bit. We went up the in-laws. We left about 9, half 9, came home and just fucking had a bit of foods, a couple of beers, and fucking bed by half 12. It wasn't a mad one. We just relaxed. You know, after Christmas, it was just nice. Just the kids weren't here, so we could just literally feet up, watch whatever, and just fucking get on with it.
Well, being ill in some ways actually helped because I didn't do anything. I just didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't see half my family. I didn't go out. I was going to go out a couple of nights in that week before. I might have done something else for New Year's, but I felt quite refreshed after it all. And the day after New Year's, I was all right. I just went. I did stay up till 4:30 to be fair, but I stayed in bed till like 11:30, and then I wasn't that hungover. I was just tired, so I just lounged around. Yeah, so I feel quite refreshed, sleeping all right. I didn't do a lot, didn't overeat, didn't overdrink, and just I feel all right. Weirdly, it's probably the best I felt in a January for a while.
Nice. That's kind of similar to like my end of last year because I had COVID and I was a bit wiped out for a bit, so I didn't do a lot of heavy drinking for a couple of days. And New Year's Day waking up, I was quite refreshed last year as well.
Yeah, we back because we did a 2-part New Year's Eve podcast last year. By the time the second one came on, we were both fucked. It was like I think I even opened the beer and I couldn't even finish it. I was like, no, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, it's just part of that podcast was in the dark as well, right? You was like walking home, and I think that was another night. That was when I was in Amersham for sure. Yeah, yeah, I think he was back home then, and he was walking from
a different night. That was me leaving the pub, and then we started streaming when I'm walking on the way back, and then started it again when I got home, which is all fun.
Yeah,
but you know what? I was gonna kick him right in the head then, but he did bring you something, so
that's what he was calling to do. Well, he came in to get something else, and then I asked him to get me the vape. So by all means, you can still kick him in the head. It's not a problem.
What we need, Jamie, is like under the table. If you get one of those boxing gloves on a spring and a boot on a spring, and then I just tell you what to do, and then you press the button. So I feel like I'm kicking and punching him.
That'd be great, though. While you're doing it, you can just say, "This is, I don't want to do this."
It's disappointing. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed, but I'm going to have to just teach you a lesson now. I'm going to have to wind you.
Yeah. Oh my! I was just going to say, I was going to pull up a pig network indeed, but God bless her. She's off Twitter, man. She's off Twitter for a fucking joke. It was a friendly joke. She said something to the cat, didn't she, on Twitter? And what was it? Some old fucking
ho fucking ho.
Yeah, ho ho fucking ho, as in ho ho Merry Christmas. And then I think Twitter police were like, "You can't call people a ho," and then took the fucker off, like bollocks to them fucks.
Yeah, madness out of madness. But there's we've got to do. I mean, we're trying to help her to get like fake accounts and stuff, but I can't. I haven't got fake numbers that I've used for a while. I did think about registering an account here, but then I can't risk a maniac like I was always getting banned with my number because then I get banned.
Well, I told her yesterday. I messaged her on Facebook. I said, "Well, just get yourself a really cheap pay-as-you-go phone and just with a new number. Just literally, as soon as you set up your Twitter account, just fucking scrap the thing."
You only need it for you only need it for the verification text, right? That's all you ever need it for.
Yeah, that's what I need. And if you're worried about setting up using your email, if they can track the IP address, I said go to a cafe or something or a bar.
They won't do IP because you can have different people. It's the device, it's the number and the device. There's a device code.
Oh, okay.
So they know it's your phone.
Yeah. So you just get something cheap.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll be fine in the IP because you could have 10 people in the house. You're only banning one of them, right? So that'll be
I didn't think that because when the idea of the IP address came up, I didn't really think about that. But you can like house share. They're not going to ban the entire fucking house if one person is acting like Christine, a complete maniac, like you said.
Oh yeah, I know they definitely use the IMEI number, which is device. So when you have 10 accounts, they could ban all 10 of your accounts.
Yeah.
And you need a number these days as well. So yeah, I don't know. Sure, I'm sure there's a way around it. We'll figure it out. We'd have a crowd Chris, if you struggle, we could have a crowd fund to buy you like the cheapest, shittiest drug dealer phone you can find in Denmark. Not even a smartphone, just where you have to like click the buttons, like
yeah, like the old like a small little Nokia phones, the one they smuggle into prison up their assholes. You know, it's yeah. Christina, don't worry, we're gonna figure this out for you. We got pig network, as Kelly said. We'll figure it out, kid. We'll get it sorted.
We'll problem solve. We'll problem solve for sure. Yeah, the unofficial pig network. I like the idea of that. All the cool cats together.
Pig network, baby. It's good to be back though, because we didn't pod last week, and this is the first.
We've had a lot of weeks off, and here and there we've been doing it, so it hasn't. I enjoyed the one we did a couple of weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I got some wine and some beers in.
It was good. That was just. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was a good one.
Old school.
Old school. Yeah, I think that was on for like over 3 hours. I think it literally just. Yeah,
it's just a night of the old of Dykes Mann pub, but it's good. It's good. I like the random. I like when you don't know you're going to do it, because the drinkathons you kind of know, but I like it when it's just like, should we just have another one and keep going?
It just turns into something else. Yeah. So
once in a while, it doesn't hurt, does it?
Drinkathons are always good. I'm looking forward to more movie-thons. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, let's get on it, because Brock's up for it. We're up for it. I've had this list forever. We kind of know what we want to watch. So
we've got lists. Is he sober? Is he?
I believe. Well, Brock, you can explain yourself. But I texted him on the 2nd or the 3rd, and he said it's going well, but he's only 2 days, so we'll see. I haven't managed to get in his stream yet. Again, I couldn't do it last night, but tomorrow I'll jump in and we'll see what's what. See what the draws are like. Sober. So yeah, I'm sure there's just less house parties, I imagine. And the dogs are going, bloody hell, he's changed his behavior. What's going on? He's not screaming and whooping and fucking spilling ribs on the floor.
Yeah, Kenobi's like, I haven't been kicked in the ribs for 3 days. What's going on?
I haven't had a paintbrush shoved up my nose in a good week.
It'd be brilliant to see Brock doing a live sketch now one day, and he just starts shaking furiously, and he's just got to fucking hold his hand in. Just,
We can do some research, Chrissy, but I have heard that they do have the device number, right? Most companies do. So when you sign up for something, they get the device number. Now, some people get away with it, like Anthony Cumia and people have got away with it, but after a while they'll find you. Because if they want to, they could search for the IME number and go, any account from that device we can bump. It affected me when I had a shared podcast account years ago, and the other twat kept getting banned, and we lost the podcast account because of it.
Shit.
So it's probably the phone number. I think IMEI is device, isn't it? IME number. Let me just check. I
think so. Yeah. Have you got like a family member or a friend who really does not use social media whatsoever, and you can just sort of use theirs, because they're not going to get any shit for it if you fuck up again. Not that you did. You just said.
Well, what I would do. So we're here anyway, and the SIM cards are free, right? So what I would do, even go on Gumtree or like a local sales thing and buy the shittiest piece of shit for like nothing, and just get a SIM card for it for free and chuck it in. Pay 20 or whatever to get some data on there or some text, and just use that to sign up.
Yeah, I'd probably said to her the other day, but I didn't factor in the IP address, so that's why I mentioned about going to like a bar or a cafe.
Yeah, because I think Chris uses a laptop and the iPad, so if they know what those are, they might not catch you, or they might take a while, or they might. So it's an unknown.
You'd be fine.
I can send you a shitty phone that has a shitty battery life if you want.
Job done. Do you know what? Actually, my door's all when I could ship that over to her. No fucking problem.
I've been trying to give a phone to my dad for ages. It hasn't got good battery life, but he's got all the nano SIM, because his phone has a regular SIM card which no one's used since like 2011. So I'm trying to get him to take the smartphone into his life, but it's still there. Every time I go down there, it's still there, covered in dust. So if he doesn't use it, I could send that out.
Good show. Just blow the dust off. Get it fucking going. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass.
Get like an old tablet or whatever, something that's nearly free, or shitty. You just use for Twitter. It's like your hacking Twitter device.
Yeah. Some nonsense.
Nonsense, of course.
Nonsense. Speaking of Scientology, nonsense. Fucking perverts. We'll get you back on, Chris. We'll get you live. We'll get you fucking free as a bird again. Back with the fucking.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter because that shouldn't matter. It's the ones you've been using now while your account's been banned, basically. I reckon. But yeah, I need to get into that Scientology rabbit hole. I did say on New Year's Eve I need to get back down there.
Yeah, I keep bringing it up every now and again. It's fucking wild. It's getting what, mate? It's getting wilder by the fucking day. It's another guy you want to follow, Aaron Levin Smith, ex-Scientologist. He's fucking doing these podcasts, and wow, you're talking fucking like not just human trafficking, but like child molestation, child rape. Fucking
is he on YouTube?
Yeah. RON Levin Smith, I think his name is.
Levin Smith.
Levin, I think his podcast is called Growing Up in
Scientology.
Yeah,
okay,
he's
I found Growing Up in Scientology. I'll subscribe right now.
So fucking, he's really good, and he's so funny as well. He's really good, but some of the fucking just you got to watch. But yeah, we'll you do your little fucking rabbit hole dive, and then we'll get together and we'll do our own little expose.
There's a copper, an ex-copper that goes around. It's called John Wedger, right? He's done some good interviews. I saw one on this Anything Goes thing, and I saw a thing on TikTok today where he just basically says he knows about some politicians and stuff that have been banging kids and all that, but he's been told by the chief of police to never go near it, never say it, because if he does, he'll lose his job, money, house, family, everything will just go.
He'll lose the fucking lot.
Because I think he's talked about it as well. But it's if you undermine the political establishment, that you basically just get the intelligence services, and they'll just you'll end up having a car accident, basically.
Yeah, and a Parisian
all
fucking
of your everything will just go, or you'll have KP put on your hard drive. But he's quite interesting, and he also talks about a very famous, well-loved, beloved British celebrity that's at it as well, has been. And there are probably can't say even, but there are rumors on who that might be. Because if you could watch some of these TikTok videos, if you underneath it says search this, because when I saw that walrus in Scarborough, underneath it said search walrus masturbating. And that's how I found out that it was wanking and stuff. But underneath one of that John Wedge's videos is search this and this celebrity's name, who is a very well beloved actor, very old now, but has done TV comedy for 50 years. I think he's cool, but then if he's done some of this, then I don't think he's cool. But I don't know; it could all be bullshit. So I don't want to say his name. But what I will say is
his name on a message, and I'll fucking check.
Well, here we go. This is how we do it. Stick a pony in my pocket. I'll get the suitcase from the van. If you want the best,
which brother?
Don't ask questions, and brother, I'm a man, and he's the one that's giving it.
Okay, is he the tall one or the short one?
Not the tall one.
Oh, there we go. Fucking wild shit, man. Because I heard about, because this guy's name, when you said it, I was like, it sounds familiar, and I couldn't put a face to the name. But then you told me about James English,
English, yeah,
Scottish English, yeah. And then he was on his podcast doing a big fucking expose on.
So I watched that on his, basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good because you shared a link, didn't you, on Twitter about Meat Rack Boy, and I remember watching something on him years ago.
Because I think that's related to what that copper's talking about.
Yeah,
he's basically one of the victims.
Yeah, it's completely related. But that guy, I think he's dead now. That old guy, I think he died of emphysema or something.
Because the video I saw was 2 years old, but he was sick and dying when they did the interview, I think.
Yeah, he was really ill, but he put out a short video saying, whatever you do, obviously this is happening, it's real. But in regards to that copper you're talking about, he said, I wouldn't trust him because he said he's making a buck off it, and so it gave me a bit of a conflicting sort of how I thought about this guy, and but on the other hand, he does fucking great work. But Meat Rack Boy. What a fucking horrific story, though, right? Ed Heath, the fuck. What did he say? He was on a boat with Ed Heath, the British Prime Minister from the 70s.
Prime Minister.
You only
But
touched my
even in
dick.
the interview, he didn't want to grass him up. He's like, well, it wasn't much because he goes, that wasn't that bad compared to what
Yeah,
happened. Basically, he was at the seaside, and when he got off, the British Prime Minister at the time dried him off and then sucked him off. This poor old guy had been abused so much when he was a kid. He was like, that wasn't that bad. I don't even want to talk about that because that was fine. It's like there were some other bad things that happened.
was okay. Yeah. Because I remember the first interview I heard of him years ago, and I looked into it, and there was basically evidence which shows that Maggie Thatcher basically was like, nah, Ted wouldn't do that. Yeah, Ted Heath, yeah. Not Ed Heath, Ted Heath. But there was...
Yeah, and to the short brother, Christina, yes, it would be sad. But I'm always, it wouldn't surprise me if Attenborough one day, at the end, it's David Attenborough's been the king of the pedos. It's just the nicest guy.
Rules the fucking rules. But who would have thought of Rolf fucking Harris, when that came? I was
exactly,
like,
because he was a lovable, like everyone loved him. My sister's husband drove him around sometimes years ago. He was a driver. And he had all these songs on cassette and stuff like Tom Kangaroo Dance, Sport Tom Kangaroo Dance.
Yeah, two little boys.
He had a signed cassette of him. I loved those songs when I was a kid. But yeah, so no one would expect him. Cliff Richard, I've heard both about Cliff Richard. I've heard that he was innocent and that raid was out of order, and I've also heard that he's definitely in.
Yeah, I think that raid, the way the press handled it though, was literally it was the sniff of Cliff Richard being a nonce, and then there was boom, helicopters over his house.
Well, that's the police though. That's the police leaking to the press, and I don't like that. I don't like even with Andrew Tate, why is there press there taking pictures when the police lead them at the house? They fucking shouldn't be, right? Because first of all, you're supposed to go to court and find out whether you're guilty or not.
Yeah,
it's when you come at your house in handcuffs. And then the police were all there taking pictures. That's trial by media, which shouldn't be allowed.
Trial by media is fucking terrible. And
you shouldn't know if someone's been arrested for something. You should know when they've been charged. I know it's harder if they're famous to not know. But
yeah. And amongst other things, that's kind of what makes Tommy Robinson a bit of a piece of shit as well, right? Because he's always outside the fucking courts, like,
there probably is a problem in that area, right? There probably is one with 100%. Gangs that aren't being investigated and all the rest of it. But him doing that, I'm just trying to focus my camera, by the way. Him doing that is jeopardizing the trials. Because if you go out and start reading names and details out, you're you're fucking with the public's idea of it already, which is bias in the trial, and it could get thrown out. That's why what he did was wrong.
It was ridiculous. I remember when he got slammed in the fucking van within like minutes of being outside the court, and they were like, "Oh, it's a conspiracy." No, they knew he was going to do it because he announced he was going to do it anyway after being given a warning by a judge, "Do not do it." So they were on standby, thinking knowing he was going to pop up because he announced he was going to do it, and they were like, "Fuck you, you're off to fucking jail, boy." And that's it. There's no conspiracy behind it. No one's trying to cover up the fact that anymore that there's grooming gangs in Rotherham and the like. And that's all been exposed now. You cannot cover this shit up anymore. It's too much of a fucking, hot rock to touch.
But some things still aren't being investigated. Or some people still aren't getting done for stuff like that. And it's, there are still things going on.
Definitely.
Especially because if some of it does lead back to senior police officers or politicians or whatever.
Royal family as an example, members. It's off the topic of pedophilia, but it's sticking with the establishment. You look at Hillsborough, for example, right? 96 people fucking died, and the police were like, "Oh yeah, they were drunk, they were this, that." As the decades went on, they were like, "No, actually, there was no indication that anyone was pissed up, fighting this, that, the other." And it's a huge cover up. Even to this day, no one's been held accountable for.
Yeah, and it took them. They only did an investigation. They only did an inquiry last year, didn't they? As well, and they were like, "Well, no, we don't think they did anything wrong."
Yeah, but even though
I think what happened was a load of fans did turn up with no tickets to try and force away, and which is part of it. But then the police, I think they opened up a gate which they knew would trap them in because they knew it'd flood the stands then. But then because they were trying to deny they did that for years, I think as well. But they did it.
They covered that
and then,
as well.
Then it made it. Then the ambulances couldn't get in and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they were
when it was getting bad, and that was policing that did that.
Because I was watching a program the other day. It was on ITVX. It's a program called Anne. Anne Williamson. I think she's one of the mothers of one of the victims, and she was like a prolific figure throughout this whole hill. And she died of cancer, but she died of cancer a few days after they announced that there was going to be new inquests into every individual death. And a lot of stuff came out on the back of that. But again, no one was ever held accountable. It was just like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
they want to do as much as possible to not let, because what it is like they don't want people to lose faith in the state or the police, but really they, especially now, they do anyway, because we've got social media and we fucking know what's going on. So already the faith has been lost. So why not prosecute people, and then you might get some faith back eventually.
I think they'll definitely get fucking brownie points if they started to go after people now. They get brownie points for fucking putting these fucking assholes in jail. But they probably wouldn't go to jail anyway. They probably would just be, I don't know, they'd be taken through courts and they wouldn't see time. It's like these British officers, right, who served in Northern Ireland, and it's a matter of public record to say that some of these soldiers done some really bad fucking things.
Yeah.
And they are not held accountable, and they will never see a fucking jail cell. So it is this hierarchy of, do not fucking tell
us. Do you know what? Do you know who they did arrest? They arrested the whistleblower that came out and said, "Yeah, we were popping off civilians and burying the bodies in the fucking woods." And the British government went, "Oh no, we didn't. He was never in that regiment, and they just arrested him and put him in prison." But I believe that he probably was. He went around with pictures and he goes, "This is where we buried this one. This is where we buried that one. This is what we did." And they were just like, we wouldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, and it just like when they every now and again they do they go into these inquests and they bring up new trials, and it's like, oh yeah, but should soldiers be held accountable years after the fact? Is like, yes. And like police, they should be held to a higher account, like doctors and stuff, because
the only time the police get done is if they do a rape and murder and they get caught, like that guy last year.
Who,
by the way, he wasn't just a copper; he was part of the Royal Protection Squad. He was like high end. He's the people that basically guards Downing Street, the royal houses. They're like high security clearance.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the best of the best, and then he followed a girl home and raped her and murdered her.
Well, he didn't just rape and murder her. He like fucking he raped her and like mutilated her body and fucking burned her, and like in the most horrific way. And it's like, he's a bad egg. He's a bad egg amongst a.
He'd been caught. He'd been reported for flashing in like a McDonald's or a Starbucks or something like 2 weeks before.
Yeah,
and some woman reported to the police, and they just didn't do anything. And then because he's a copper, and then literally, he murdered a girl.
Big fucking style, yeah.
That's the only time they'll go to prison, when it's so obvious. It's like he's on camera.
Yeah,
he's been caught.
You can't
and it's rape, murder, and it's kind of worse. But and a lot of those criminals that are on that James English's channel, I know they're crooks and stuff, but a lot of them do tell a lot of stories about being fitted up by the police and stuff. It's like the shit that they've done over the years.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Because obviously the job of a cop is to catch the bad guys, and the job of a bad guy is to, evade the law at any costs. But without fucking doubt, man, the police have definitely put people away when they.
I saw the interview. I saw an interview with the Cardiff Bay lot.
Oh,
there's Tiger Bay.
Yeah,
Tiger Bay guys that all got nicked for a murder, and so one of those actually it was filmed in Cardiff Bay. I think he must have driven up there like in the last couple of years, and he filmed it in Cardiff Bay, like around his community centre or whatever. And the main guy that the police went after, he was interviewed, and he was like, "Yeah, they just came after us because they couldn't find who did it. They had no idea who did it, and they were like, we don't like them. They're a bunch of fucking weirdos. Let's get them off." It was literally so they could get them off the streets, and so they could appease the public. Go, look, we're keeping the streets safe.
Yeah, but wasn't it when they targeted specifically black men? Right, I'm sure it was just black men. I might be wrong.
The main, I can't remember the guy's name from Cardiff, but the main guy is like mixed race and stuff, and he is saying that. I don't know. I only saw this one interview. I know there's a podcast about it and all that stuff, but I think so. And he said there were a lot of like direct racism from the police, like calling them N-words and stuff when they're trying to fit him up and trying to get him rattled and all that stuff. But loads of stuff went on that. And then they caught, I think they let him out, and the girl's dad came around his house with a shotgun to try and shoot him and all this stuff. But eventually they caught the guy years later. It was like the guy who actually did it. It was, I can't remember where he was from, maybe even up near you somewhere, I don't know. But they caught some randomo living in a shed or something. I don't know. I can't remember all the details. But it's what's even the case called? The Tiger Bay something.
Yeah, I think I can't. I remember watching a fucking documentary on it a couple of years ago. But it's this fucking wild fucking story. It's
wrong conviction.
The
story tells.
Yeah, they got to be seen to be doing something. The police, right? Like you said, they'll just go around and say, "Right, fuck it, we'll you."
They just didn't. I mean, and these guys probably weren't good guys. Do you know what I mean? They were cunts. So, but the police just didn't want them on the streets. But they were like, "We'll get them for this murder," which isn't okay.
For something they fucking didn't do. Yeah, I mean,
so it was the murder of Lynette White, and it's the Cardiff Five, basically, if you Google that. And the name of the guy, if I bring it up here, the James English one is, because apparently this guy was always beating up bouncers around Cardiff and stuff.
Yeah.
His name is John Actie, Actie. It's weird though, being because I was in Cardiff for a while. It's weird seeing someone there, because that James English guy would go around all their houses and stuff. He'll drive wherever for the interview, so he get some good stuff. But yeah, that was an interesting one. That
I gotta watch that one. Not seen that one with James English, but it's good. But I remember the James English podcast when he was speaking to that copper. They were talking about the Cray twins, and it went from just they were this, they were that, then because there's like this it's almost like
they were both not. He said they were both nonces, right?
Yeah. Because they were saying there's almost like this this mythology around the Cray twins that they were bad, however they had morals and they were this, that, the other. But both of them were like fucking well known for,
both of them were raping teenagers,
raping kids.
Well, because for years the rumor was was it Ronnie
that schizophrenic,
and he also had some like young twinks and stuff. But more recently, I've seen some more people that were around then. They go, no, they were both were. That Ronnie was more open about it.
Yeah.
And the other one was more secretive about it, and he had got married and all that stuff. But he revered though. Even around like my family and stuff, they always used to talk about people connected with them in the 60s and stuff, and everyone thinks they're cool and all that. And they made all the films and all that, but actually, they weren't even that. Like, they were just around a small little area in North London, and they did look after like Bethnal Green and all that, but they weren't that big. They tried to come up to Manchester and got like told to fuck off, or you'll wake up in the river, basically.
Yeah,
they tried to take over the UK, but the reason they went away for so long, because it was only for a murder each, but the reason they went away for so long is because they were friends with politicians again, like senior politicians, House of Lords people. They were celebrities, and they had their pictures taken with all the politicians. You can guarantee that there were boys being passed around, all that stuff. That's why they went away for so long.
One of them now is I can't remember the politician's name, but he was well known for being a fucking paedophile, and one of the Crays specifically was always around him, and they were always going to these weird parties and fucking doing what they were. I can't remember his name, but he's done TV appearances where he came across as I'm sure he was a Conservative politician.
There we go, Lord Robert Boothby.
Yes, Boothby. That's the fucking one. Yeah.
This is the one that the police investigated, and the investigation was shut down. They're like,
that's right. Yeah. And there's photos with him and one of the Crays or two of the Crays, and they're always in the same sort of hangouts together.
I don't think that was one. I don't think that was like one or two people, or like a Conservative or Labour. I think it was just anyone. As soon as you get up to a certain level of power, there's a lot of it that goes on. Not saying that everyone, but there is a lot of it up there for whatever reason.
Yeah, and it begs the question, did they get into politics because they knew they could get to a level where they could do these things with anonymity and just get away with it, and just It's a fucking
definitely wanted power. Definitely wanted
Yeah.
power. And then people born into certain families and stuff get it quicker. And then, yeah, when they're there. But that, you know, like the Epstein thing was probably a blackmail operation by someone, right? There's
Yeah.
probably a lot of that going on, or have been a lot of that going on here as well, with like MI5 or whatnot. Just like going, oh, now we've got you on video fucking a kid. So when you come to vote for this, we want you to vote this way.
Yeah.
Or do this or that.
Do this and
yeah.
Yeah. The next time you go to Israel on political affairs, you fucking make sure you speak to so and so and get intel. It's whole big fucking cover up, and it's crazy.
Scott Dykes in the house. We have a family member in the house.
My brother. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here with your pig titties.
Dykes. Hey, get the fuck out of here. But dirty fucking nonsense, eh? Hey, my brother got chased by a paedophile when he was a kid. That was fun.
Did he?
He never got diddled by a pervert, but he got chased by one. And he was kind of brought,
Did he have a net? Did he have like a fucking child catching net?
Yeah, some fucking psycho ran the. I think he ran home with his bike because we lived in a council estate and it was very, very fucking uphill. And he ran home. Oh, he got chased by a pervert. Okay. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He just, he's one of those kids.
He might have been a pervert, Scott. He might have wined and dined you as a kid, you know. He might come out for a glass of wine.
Yeah. You never know. I remember my mother gave him an early Christmas present. It was a Buzz Lightyear action figure. And I was just like, I want to get chased by a pedophile now because, I could use a new toy.
Yeah, I nearly drowned once in Bournemouth, and I convinced my parents to buy me a Batmobile and a Back to the Future car model kit, and I've still got them, and I still haven't finished making them like 30 years later. But yeah, I guilted them into buying me stuff because I nearly died. But yeah, if I'd have been fucked, I would have had everything.
Everything. The world would have been mine, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Nintendo 64 I would have got on the day of release.
Yeah. No, never been to that prison.
Well, they're in Shepton Mallet because I know Shepton Mallet is my friend Katie who grew up on a farm not far from there. Because there's some awesome names. There's like Shepton Mallet. There's a place called Curry Mallet, I think, as well. Curry Mallet. There's like 3 mallets. It's a weird little place down there, but no, I've not been to that one. Although there is a prison somewhere south of Bristol, and Jamie, we have to go before the bloke dies. It's basically got loads of Nazi memorabilia. It's a museum, and the TripAdvisor reviews are like, "Oh, this is disgusting." But you can camp nearby because my mate Dave Jeffries has been, and apparently, the whole museum is just like, "Oh, we've got Hitler's tie," and I want to go. I want to go and film it secretly, like. A load of comics down there. It'll be the funniest thing in the world.
That could be hilarious. That's something we should do maybe in the summer and just fucking, find a nice little place to camp out for a weekend and just do these things.
I didn't realize. Oh, it's called HMP Cornhill, Grade 2 listed Shepton Mallet prison. I didn't know they were down there. Because they had moved around, and Ronnie eventually ended up in Broadmoor, which is a nut house, the criminal hospital.
Big fucking nut house, yeah.
Which is where Jimmy Savile had keys to, and he'd go and have sex with the mentally ill patients.
Yeah, that's
one of the many places he had keys to.
Yeah, Charles Bronson was there as well, wasn't he? And even the Krays wouldn't fucking do anything around Charles Bronson because they were like, "Fuck this."
Well, he's another one that's been kept inside because of his behaviour, but it wasn't a big crime that he did. It was a shitty little armed robbery.
He robbed a post office, a really small post office. And actually,
because that James English guy knows a lot of his family and stuff, and so he's had voicemails from Bronson that they've played on the podcast about what happened with that robbery. So he said what he did was he went around their house, he made the guy bend over, pulled his pants and trousers down in front of him, and he held the shotgun at the back of his bollocks. And that was what he actually did, because he said all the movies and stuff are bullshit, but that's what actually happened with the robbery. But Bronson's laughing on the voicemail or the phone call to his son, telling him.
Yeah. Because he's committed more crimes in prison than out of prison. Like that's why he keeps.
That's why he hasn't been released, because he keeps beating people up. But he's the family and that say he's provoked all the time. But now he's in a cage within a cage, apparently.
Yeah.
It's like. He can't move. He does a lot of artwork, but they're talking. The murmurs are starting that he's going to get out.
Good for him, because I think he needs to come out now, because he's too old for all this fucking shit anyway. And because in regards to the artwork, I think he does the artwork and his brother sells them for him, and all the money goes to a charity.
Yeah, he wasn't like a lifelong. He was just, he was just a poor kid who was a bit of a nutter and did a couple of robberies and stuff. That's it. He wasn't like a nasty piece of work, and he should have been in prison for 35, 40 years. Apparently, but everyone that's been in with him said he's the nicest guy in the world. Like, really nice, really kind.
Yeah.
But you don't take any shit.
I was watching a program once, and there was a guy who used to roll with the Cray twins, right? And so this guy's a bit of an hard fucking cunt. And even he said the first night he went down, his cell was right next to Charles Bronson. And he said Bronson made me cry overnight just by tapping the door, just by tapping the walls and, murmuring to him. And he said, I cried like a fucking baby because this Bronson's voice was just fucking so intimidating. But yeah, people who know him and like him say he's been married like fucking 3-4 times. Didn't he become a Muslim once as well in prison? And then after like 9/11, he converted back. He's like, fuck this, you're all bad terrorists. And he divorced her and was like, I can't remember. I'm looking at Michael Francis now. He does the UK tour, Brett. I'll check that out as well. Yeah, he's been on Sean Atwood, because Sean Atwood's another one. They have a lot of the same guests. Sean Atwood is fucking great. In fact, I was listening to a podcast earlier with Sean Atwood, and he was speaking to a Romanian guy, and they were talking about Andrew Tate in going to prison in Romania, and this guy has been in prison in Romania for like 5.5 years, and he's just basically talking about the system, Romanian prison systems, and this I'm like quarter of the way through it. But Sean Atwood's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, like so all those guys have. There's a few of those podcasts around. They've got some really, really interesting guests. I've been through a lot of the
wild boy back in his fucking day, because he started off with a fucking stocks and shares or whatever you call it, the job, and he ended up getting into different things just because he was good with money and whatever. And yeah, he's a very interesting fucking guy.
Yeah, but that's why I like these things with the crooks and that, because you hear about their life and how they got into it and why they got into it and the mistakes they made, and it's just like they got a little bit too greedy, or they didn't have any other options. You know what I mean? They go, once you've gone into prison, once and you come out as well, you haven't got many other options. It's like, well, you got to keep doing this. But a lot of them like they're in their 50s and they're like, do you know what? It's fucking stupid. I shouldn't have done that riot. That got me an extra 15 years.
Yeah.
But
how many people all these guys, these big, hard, tough bastards back in the day, no grass and this, that, the other. But now they're all doing podcasts and writing stories and just fucking giving away.
Yeah, well, they got one guy who's been shot. His best mate shot him, and when he's older, after he's out in prison and stuff, and there's still a bit of drama going on with some of them as well. Yeah, they're doing podcasts, but he asked them about that sometimes, but he said, "No." A couple of them were like, "No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. It's, I'm not saying anything out of turn, really." But most of them are now going to schools and all that and talking kids out of it, out of because one of them said you got to get them at 8 and 9 years old, because by the time they're 11, they're 12, it's too late. They're already in it. They're already doing crime and robbing and all that stuff, because they get recruited at the low level to do all the petty stuff. And they're just in it from there, like the area down from here, like 2 miles away, Moss Side. It's a tiny little housing estate, but it's still going on down there. Shootings and all that, not as often now, but one guy who said he got shot 27 times in one go down there, just outside his house, and he survived.
Fucking hell, take that 50 cent.
But he said his doctor said it's because he's so fat. Because if you weren't so fat, they would blood was trapped half these bullets. But that was just in one hit. I think he's been shot about 30 times in total. But now he's just but he said what it is, it's beef between the high level dealers and whoever's in their gang. No matter how far down, they all feel they have to fight each other. But they all went to school together. They're all friends. Yeah. He said, you could walk around the corner and some 18-year-old will pull out a gun, and then it's more beef because you shoot him, and then they're going to come and get you, and it just goes on forever. That's 2 miles away that way.
Yeah.
But it's,
because the stabbings in London, I mean, that's just like turf wars, right? That doesn't seem to be from any sort of family generational beef. It just seems to be like young disenfranchised
a lot of
kids.
that. A lot of that stuff is turf wars overselling a bit of weed. It's not even over anything proper. It's just ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah. What was I was watching the other night, which is I haven't seen it for years. Harry Brown with Michael Caine.
Do you know, I've never seen it.
Do you know what? That's exactly what that film is. It's a group of fucking thugs. They own the fucking area, and Harry Brown, old guy, he's like, fuck this. Old military dude. Shout to Brett Brock, good merch. It's a good watch.
Stretching the old knees. Do you know what? In my head, that's still that new Michael Caine film, kinda. And it's like 20 years old or whatever. But I've been wanting to watch it since I saw the trailer. I just never got to it.
Yeah, I only watched it once when it sort of first came out. And I thought that's good, and it's a good fucking watch. It's a really good watch.
I love Michael Caine as well. I mean, Get Carter for me is one of my favorites, and I've not seen it for a long time.
It's
I mean,
been
like
a long
15
time
years.
since I've seen that. Yeah.
Like, there was a period that I'd watch it a couple of times a year because it'd be on TV at like 1 a.m. on Channel 4, and I'd be like, if it was on, I'm watching it. Wherever it started, I'm just finishing it. I just love it. It's a classic.
Do you know what? I've seen it, but it's a film I've never seen from start to finish because it's just something I've just. Cause I know it's based up in Newcastle, right?
Yeah, because I think something happens with his brother, and he has to go up to Newcastle to sort out the heavies, and it's just hot 60s girls and shotguns and being chased around the place and all that, and there's a hit out on them, and it's just like a gritty one of those films that just has long takes and long scenes, which you couldn't really do a lot now.
Love those films.
Caine, and he also did a really interesting one called The Ipcris File, where he was a spy. I think he works for MI5, but it's a really I got it on a DVD that was free with the Daily Mail.
Beautiful.
In like 2003. But I think they did 2 or 3. It's like Harry Palmer, his name. So he plays like a grittier James Bond, I guess, but it's just Michael Caine being cool around London, uncovering conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah, I always like to think that Michael Caine will always be remembered for Jaws 3: The Revenge. You know, the pilot.
Brock, if you did drop a link to that as well. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm just going to try and bring up the YouTube because I can't see it in StreamYard.
The TubeU.
If not, I'll find it here. Let me have a look. No, I can't see. Nothing was posted. So I'll check that out. Michael Francis, but I know he does that UK tour thing, so I'll check out that prison for sure. Yeah, because I know they're up in. I think that they probably got moved around quite a bit, specifically Reggie. And then Ronnie was in Broadmoor because the guy that was married into my family was in Broadmoor with him around in the 90s, I think. That guy, he was sort of married into the family, and he stabbed his best mate in the head with a heroin needle. That's why he was in there.
Nice.
I guess they're on heroin.
Yeah. What's the guy who wrote the official biography? Shit. He was on the program How To years ago.
For the Greys.
Yeah. Glasses. You had hair, ball on top, hair on the side.
I know. Oh, did he do the? I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah. What the fuck's his name? Because it's a good story I heard about the Craze and him. Was very good. What the fuck's this guy's name? I know you're gonna find it now, but I'm gonna try and think of his name.
Fred
Dynage.
I can't believe he wrote a book about the Craze. I thought he just
Fred Dynage. This is a good story, right? Fred Dynage. He was asked to go to Broadmoor to see one of the surviving Craze, and they were like, right, I want you to write this book. And it turns out that someone else had the rights or something to write the book on the Craze. But Fred Dynage was like, I really want to write it, but I can't because of fucking legal reasons, blah, blah, blah. And he had a phone call weeks or months later to go back, and he saw the Craze and the surviving one. He said, it's sorted. You can write my book. So whatever leverage they had back in the day, even that leverage was enough to fucking make the publishers say, yeah, let Fred Dynage write the book. And that was a story told by Fred Dynage himself.
That's interesting. I'll have to get that. So they still, I mean, he was some of these guys that James Inglis interviewed were protection at the Craig funeral, Reggie Craig's funeral, because it was like a massive. It was like Princess Diana's funeral, but for criminals. And that
It was a
so
huge
this guy,
deal, wasn't it?
so this guy, this crook, basically was hired to be armed protection for the funeral, and the police brought him in because the police knew. They brought him in before and said, "What's going to go on? We need to know what's because it's going to have all these crooks in one place, right? And there could be trouble, there could be turf wars and all this." And he's like, "No." And then they were talking about this and that, and they don't want to put too many armed police out because it'll upset people and all that. And the guy said, my mistake was I said to him, well, we're going to have more guns than the police have on the day.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of shit. So yeah, when you see the funeral procession, I'll try and bring it up. A lot of these guys have got like shotguns and pistols under their jacket. Like
I've seen
the 90s. I think
it's fucking insane. Yeah.
So this was Reggie Cray, London, on his funeral, right? But it's crazy. Yeah, I'd forgotten about it because I kind of remember I was quite young, but I remember being I remember seeing it in the paper and stuff. But I'll bring up some pictures now.
It's insane.
So this is his funeral, but it's just like a royal family member has died or something. It's like Reg. Everyone's lying in the streets.
Fucking hell! Oh my fucking god!
I think this is the funeral. And you know that every person is just like a criminal.
Yeah.
And their girlfriends.
And their wives. Fucking yes.
Frankie Fraser.
Shit, yeah. Frankie Fraser, yeah. He was the only guy the kids were scared of, apparently. Frankie Fraser.
Well, he was an enforcer for the Richardsons, wasn't he? The South London guys.
The crazy.
He was, yeah. I think Frankie Fraser was the real deal, but he was doing TV stuff in the early 90s. Frankie Fraser, he started being all over the place then.
Yeah,
he's got some interesting stories as well about how he came up when the war was on. When everyone was at war, he started looting, nicking suits, and selling it to people. While the Blitz was on and stuff.
Beautiful, because his son was in EastEnders. He's an actor, isn't he? His son. He was in EastEnders for a bit, but his son. He was in EastEnders. He's been in a few British gangster films, and he was in it's a really good film. No one talks about it much. Layer Cake. He was in Layer Cake as well.
Layer Cakes. That's why I really liked. Daniel Craig was good in that, wasn't he?
Very good, very good. I watched that film a few months ago.
Before he's now embarrassing himself dancing around in a vest. He's had work on the face, so he's now past the cool point. He's Daniel Craig. Yeah. Came back briefly for Bond.
He was really good.
I've seen it once when it came out.
Yeah, I watched it when it came out, and I watched it a few months ago. And I was like, this is still a good film. It's really good. I think
it was maybe 2005, that sort of time.
It was quite early in the 2000s. Yeah. It was quite an old film now, but it's really interesting. And Michael Gambon in there is fucking incredible. I love that end scene where, Daniel Craig, he's like, well, can we go now? He's like, welcome to the Layer Cake, son. Like, you ain't getting out of shit. You're fucking in.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it. I'll have to rewatch it. Yeah, I haven't seen. I need to watch the first Knives Out, and then I've heard those films are good. That's Rian Johnson, isn't it? I've heard they're fun movies.
Knives Out and Glass Onion is the sequel, I think.
Yeah, I'll give them a whirl for sure. But that advert is embarrassing that he's doing at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get away from the Bond image, but it's I think it's Daniel Craig. He's not a great actor. He's not a bad actor, but I think he's kind of just trying to get away from the hard boy Bond image.
Well, he wanted to leave a couple of films ago, but they just kept paying him more money. They're like, "We'll give you 10 million more.
We'll give you
10 million more." I was like, "Fine."
He's a phenomenal James Bond, though, because I remember watching Casino Royale in the cinema when it came out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is really like refreshing."
Well, they I tell you why they needed to do that, and I know someone that's got quite a big James Bond podcast. I need to text him actually because his girlfriend's just died. But
you should do.
Well, this is his Bond origin story. I feel didn't Bond have a dead wife?
Yeah,
I hope he's not watching. I'll text you soon.
Oops.
But he didn't realize, but from what I remember, they rebooted that in the way that they did because of the Bourne trilogy with Matt Damon.
You're right.
Fight scenes, because Bond had ended up with a fat Pierce Brosnan in a wig, pretending to run. He's like got tits and stuff with that invisible car. That last one they did. Because GoldenEye's classic. I really like the first 3 Brosnan ones, but GoldenEye's classic.
He was a good Bond. Yeah.
But that last one they did was bloody awful.
Yeah, it was fucking
People just had enough. They're like, this is just done now, isn't it? And then the Bourne trilogy come out. The whole trilogy is great. The Matt Damon, the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy, and the Bourne something else, right? Bourne on Your Mother's Gun.
Yeah.
But the fighting in that made the Bond guys go, oh, we've got to step it up now. We've got to have like someone who can fight, someone who looks like he can actually do this stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I like Skyfall. I think Skyfall is a great Bond film, or just a great action film, because it's literally him, Judi Dench, in a fucking farmhouse in Scotland, and they've got.
I rewatched it just before I went to see the final one.
It's a fucking great film, man.
I think I went to the cinema to see the final one, actually.
Yeah, I didn't watch the final one. I watched it when it came out on Sky. It was okay. No, I watched it on Amazon. Sorry. It was. Yeah, it's a good Bond film, but it's nothing.
I quite liked it.
Casino Royale or Skyfall. It was good for what it was.
I didn't like the second one. Was it Quantum of Solace?
Quantum of Solace.
Well, that was a bit underwhelming, where they drowned the girlfriend. They bring that back a bit in the last one.
The whole.
There was another one with Blofeld. What was that one?
Spectre one was like
Spectre.
Not that good. Yeah.
The reason I thought some of it was good, but geography in London annoys me, because I know that bridge, right, where MI6 is, and you've got MI5 down there. And that tower building actually did quite a clever thing. That's actually there and being built, where they said they're having this joint building, but it's just a little bit to the right. But what they did in the film was like CGI it over. But it's quite clever. They used a real building and said, oh, this is the new joint intelligence thing. But what annoyed me was when there's a fight in the basement and a fire and he blows it up. And then he has to run across the bridge. It's Vauxhall Bridge. So you come across where MI6 run across. He did it in like 8 seconds. And I was sat there going, no, you fucking can't. No, you can't. It's longer than you think to get over there. That stuff annoys me. Like, if you're going to make it kind of this real.
Make it real, bitch.
Yeah, you don't have to just pretend he was over there in a second.
Yeah.
You know?
I think with the last couple of Bond films they've done, though, they've done a lot of things with motorbikes on rooftops and stuff. It's kind of like, well, you don't need to keep repeating the formula. It's, motorbikes.
It's difficult for them, isn't it? Because they have to keep trying to top it. But then they need to do something different next, I guess. They need to. Has to be a completely different type of actor, a completely different type of thing. Maybe do one-offs instead of an overall story arc. But everyone loves the all connected shit now, because you have to have 100 films that all connect to each other. You could just do a bunch of one-offs.
Yeah, they could do that with different actors. It'd be absolutely fucking class. Or even just stick the same actor, different storylines, be fine.
That's what I mean. They'll cast someone for 10, 15 years, but just do like 5 films where you don't even have to connect. You don't have to do anything clever. I remember that guy. Just do like individual missions. And
I'd even like to see like what they've done with like Logan, right? If they've done that with James Bond, like some guy who's kind of like, he's when I say retired, I mean 10, 15, 20 years down the line, where he's even got a family and shit's going down.
I think there's room. I think there's room for that. But from what I understand, there's some deal is ending somewhere, and that they're basically going to expand the universe. So they'll have TV shows, they'll have whatever. But it'll be so that the 007, the woman might get a TV show.
Yeah.
But you could have different universes. You could have like a one-off 6-part series, where he's a grizzled old Bond, almost like Batfleck, where he's just old, but he's had enough. He's kind of retired, and then he gets dragged in for one job or whatever. That would be an interesting one.
Even if it was just like unintentionally dragged, that he just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong fucking time, and just it'd be pretty good. What fuck? What was I going to say then? Shit, there was another. That woman who was going to be the now 007 is like when they were saying, oh, the next Bond needs to be a female and call it Jane Bond, or no, it doesn't. You just
that's going on for years. Then they're not going to do
a new character. Just create a new character in the same.
They're not.
Get on with the.
They won't do that. They know their audience, and it will just be they'll have that, but have it's a separate thing. Give her her own little series or whatever, her own spin-off movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not she was fucking pretty good in the last Bond film, but she shouldn't be Jane Bond. She should be her own little fucking character. We got a surprise for everybody.
Oh God! Look who's out of prison.
Hey.
Look, it's Andrew Tate's
Yo.
lawyer, Catherine Martin herself.
Yeah, Andrew Tate. That's exactly who it is. Andrew Tate, you want a martini?
Merry New Year, Cat.
Do this.
Welcome on in.
Tate.
Welcome back.
Welcome
go
back.
Buy some Husky Boy merch. Yeah.
Yes.
Rub the bee.
Please do. Missed you, Cat. Always miss you. Love you. Welcome back to the fold, Piggy. Piggy.
Get in. I'm now in here firmly in Mancatcher, in Studio Mancatcher, Studio A or B. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind which one's which yet.
Studio 7. Studio 7.
Well, I basically got 3 setups here. I've got this one, I've got the other room, and then I'll have the sofas for us and stuff. But I'm also thinking you haven't seen it yet, but I've got a tiny little table, which is also might be good for in-person stuff because you can sit at it, stick a mic in the middle, and then we've got the fridge right there.
Yeah, baby.
That's what I'm thinking. Have some different stuff, different looks going on. Even Kelly, the cocktail queen, has graced us with her presence. I'll get the red carpet. Oh, Kelly's throwing the shade now.
Yeah, she has. Don't worry, Kel. You're still green pig.
Everyone misses Chrissy on Twitter. She's going to be back under lizard flick my mouse bean.
Yeah. She got to clear us like a mouse. Can't you probably missed the start, but we're gonna try and get Christina back on Twitter. We're just figuring out ways to do it. So it's gonna be you.
Also the Oinker, but this I haven't put that on yet. But this is really soft. It's really comfortable. It's really nice. I got the XL because I got a size up. And it's actually a good fit.
Baggy hoods.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those companies where you have to get a size up as well. Because if you get your size, it would just be a bit tight. But it's really comfortable. So I assume that the other one is as well. I'm going to keep this on until Monday, and I'm going to do a gig in it on Monday, which there might be video of. So if there is good video of it, I'll do a screenshot.
I'll skip by you. Yeah. Yes.
Kelly's red carpet. That is euphemism. Yeah. Well, I think that dried up a long time ago.
The drips match the carpet, biash.
Indeed.
Can I be on your podcast? Can I be on your podcast?
In the bucket, let me in the bucket.
I lost friendships because of you.
Also, don't post a picture from your window because I found exactly where you live. It took me. I showed Jamie. It took me about a minute, and I found exactly your apartment window.
I was getting literally fucking. My phone was going bada bing, bada bing. It was just Carl fucking sending me. This is probably when he leaves. This is the back entrance. And I was like, oh, for fuck, this is wild.
So. Any problems? I'll be in town in a couple of months. So,
you going to the States?
Give me any shit. Oh yeah, I've had the trip back for ages. I kicked it back from October into the end of February now, into going into March. But I've got a lot of stuff on, and I was just going to bounce it one more time into the end of March. But there might be something going on with Mind Dog and stuff in March, and he said, "I'll come out then." But I've got to really sit down with a spreadsheet with an Excel document and plan it because I'm it's going to be difficult to do everything that I want to do financially in the next 2 months. So I've got to really go, can I suck off a homeless person there? Can I do this there? So I'll see. But I am going out there for sure. It's the one that I've been talking about for a year. I just moved it from October to February and we'll see. But by the end of March, for sure, I'm going to be bumping around at least 2 or 3 places in the US of A. Back to check on my colony.
There's a party
see how it's going.
USA. Well, yeah, it's our colony, right? Have a beer, please.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Get me a beer, bitch. Well, yeah, because America is our colony, right? Well, more yours because you're English, but you know.
I'm sure some Welsh are in the army.
Yeah, I like to think I was there in a previous life.
Maybe we were reincarnated.
I'm gonna get some Scientology auditing and figure out if I was there back in the day.
Hold on to the e-meter.
Hold on to the cans and get myself done. I'm liking the chat room today. It's fucking blown up.
Not you, Kat. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Someone with a big head.
Like
you know, I'm pretty. It's pretty good skill of mine to don't people posting photos. It's funny. It's funny to track them down.
GCHQ. That's Carl's job.
I do know someone that works with her, but I hate her and she hates me. And she's got a head like a melon and she dresses like a tree in only greens and browns.
Beautiful.
And once I was really sexist to a lady that I work with, and deliberately, because I knew it'd annoy her, I patted a woman on the head and say "good girl" or something for doing something. And then she stood up. This girl that now works for the intelligence service stood up and just said, "You're such a racist." And I was like, she was so angry and walked off. I was like, "Well, you got your ists wrong, didn't you?"
Yeah. So you tap a woman on the head and said "go girl," and that makes you racist. So
I was joking and deliberately. Because she thought I was a sexist. Because I'd always, someone else that was in her office, I would always come in and fuck with this girl that was in her office. But we were friends, so we'd always fuck with her and push her off a chair and stuff. And go right, bitch, grab her shit and pull her over. I said, "You're so sexist." So I thought if I pretend to be overtly sexist next time she sees me, I said, "Oh, have you seen this film?" to someone, and this girl went, "Yeah." So I just patted her on the head, and that's a good girl. Because she was over the way in lunch and she stood up and went, "You're such a racist." And stormed out. And it was the funniest thing I've seen. I think that was probably the last conversation I had with her.
Well, that's not the last conversation she's heard you do, because she's probably
she's logged into this laptop right now. Watching everything that I do, probably.
She is fucking crazy.
So that
but
I'll sell you details to terrorists. Fuck it, I'll say it. Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Come at me, intelligence officer. I'll have my head off.
Isms. Christina's right. Isms are hard. Not as hard as guessing the pronoun.
Isms hard, yeah. But yeah, I just made her angry enough that one lunchtime was funny to me. And I'm only joking. If anyone is listening, I'm only joking about having the head off. Okay, by selling details. That was a joke. I shouldn't have said it. I've been thinking it for about 10 years. So I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah. Do you know we played? What's that fucking game? Where we got to guess who done what? What's it called?
Mug shorties.
Mug shorties. That's the one. Should we do one with guess the pronouns? Just get people up and just go guess the pronoun. We could be here all day. That'd be a good one. I think it'd be very
pronouns.
Guess the pronouns.
Yep, it's one way to get shadow banned off YouTube, I guess. One of my favorite lines hidden in that Tim Dillon song is, "Don't forget the pronouns." It's hidden towards the end.
Yeah.
Come to our America. You can fuck kids here. Don't forget the pronouns.
That's a great fucking song. That's a great song. So segueing beautifully into that. I didn't know Ben Avery and them had broke until you said, because I didn't listen to it religiously like you do. I didn't know. And then I went back on YouTube and I listened to some podcasts. And the one I shared to you, I said, "Oh, is this the one where they fall out?"
That's what everyone thought. It is an argument, and it is quite close to the thing.
But like I said,
it wasn't that.
It did seem scripted that one, though. It did almost seem scripted in more than one way. It seemed well delivered, but after listening to the three parts of it, it was no, this is a proper fucking argument, Bill.
Yeah, I think he's getting pissed off for them showing him up and yelling at him for real sometimes. But see, Avery said something happened behind the scenes, and one day the truth would come out. Basically, he did a big post about it and said it wasn't that. Something happened.
Cool.
And then I think he was offered a lot more money, and in the end he said no. But I really like his new podcast, Lemon Party. So it's with Ben Avery. I think it's Jace Avery, his brother, and then Devin Costa, who's really funny. So Costa used to be the old Ben for Tim Dillon,
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I started because on the back of your recommendation, I was walking the dog and I was listening to the first episode, and I was like, yeah, because what you said was spot on. It's literally just three guys sitting down, just fucking chin wagging.
That's what I want to podcast. That's what I wanted refreshing in Epstein and Last Rights to be like. Three mates sat around drinking a beer. Unfortunately, we were relegated to having to do it online, which makes some stuff easier. But yeah, when I start to do in-person stuff here, that's what that fucking Jamie. It's not a sip. That's a whole beer.
It's gonna warm and flat if I don't drink the fucking thing.
It's fair. It gets warm, doesn't it? It gets cancer if you don't. But that's what I want to do in here. Just sit around and just have three people in the same room because three's a good number, and it's funny. You know, just record that, and that's what people want to hear, and that's what I want to do. So that's what I want to do with part of the last race is exactly that: sit around, talk absolute shit, and have fun. So we'll see what we can do this year. Lots of different things.
Over a year ago, we said you like with them last rights, rather than doing like go to a comedy night or something or an event and just literally just do like last rights and just like literally.
Well, I can definitely do that at the Hollybush. I can definitely do it at the Hollybush. Like Dave there said, I can do whatever I want. So we could put a little table on the stage and just do it. We just got to convince people to go, and the locals might not get into it, or they might. But I think you can make it fun and interactive, though. I think.
And if you record it as well, it's just content.
Record it. Get it up. Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be something different and do more of that as well. Yeah, that for sure. But just thinking around to it, and I was in and out of stuff with Brazil in that last year. But yeah, maybe by the end of this year, that could be a goal. Getting towards the back end of the year to try and do something fun.
Yes. Well, when I come up to see you, that's exactly what we're gonna do, right? We're just gonna fucking sit down, mics out, talking, wagging.
Yeah, we'll do at least one live stream, at least a couple of live streams, maybe even a pre-record or something as well, and just sit around over a Saturday, get a load of stuff in, drink, and then I need to take you to I want to take you to the toilet pub.
Want to go there? Sounds fucking amazing.
And the best thing, I've got a dive bar right near here that's open till 3:00. So
that's where I want to go to.
Get in there. That's where we'll finish off. But for foods, yeah, I love this chicken place that I found. I mean, but there's all kinds of every kind of food you want, like all levels. It's fucking amazing. But this chicken place is fucking. I can't wait to go back there.
Beautiful.
Buffalo spicy chicken, dirty fries, and they sell beer in there. It's just,
that's the fucking dream, right? Just like literally eating fucking great / shit food. It's not good for you, but it's
good end of the bad food, and the sauce was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
and Dave Flynn had a Christmas dinner with fried chicken.
Oh, good. Nice. Yeah. Nice. I was like, when we went to the Christmas market in Cardiff, I was tempted to get it was like a Christmas wrap, but the wrap was actually like Yorkshire pudding. So everything was in there, and it looked great.
You should have told me, because again, that Bomber sandwich shop that I told you to go to before that you could go to, they do the best Christmas sandwich in the world. They do a whole roast dinner in a sandwich. Yeah,
I remember.
I miss it. Next year I might have to come to Cardiff in December because it's just this gravy, meat, pigs in blankets, little bits of potato, vegetable in this big fucking sandwich, and it's phenomenal.
Well,
bit of cranberry in there.
I tell you what, next year come down for Christmas, what we'll do, I'll come to Cardiff as well, and we'll get a shitty little fucking room, and we'll just spend we'll podcast and eat foods.
Look, we should do that anyway. And the other guys that I used to work with, I'll come down for again anyway. So last time I got like a shitty hotel that was well overpriced. It had the word budget in it, Jamie, but it was about fucking 90 quid a night.
Crazy. Yeah, but that's mental. These budget hotels now, unless you get them you're talking Tuesday to Thursday, there's no budget prices, man. They're fucking stupidly expensive.
They fuck you. And actually, from what I've seen over the years, Cardiff hotels are actually quite expensive compared to a lot of other places, and I can't figure out why. It's like,
very expensive.
Taking the piss, mate. I get it round an event, rugby or Beyonce concert or whatnot. But, come on a regular Friday, what are you doing, lads?
I know, because before we had the dog, it was easy just to sort of drop the kids off the in-laws and just go out for a night. But now we can't do it. But point being is, we would just say, right, we're going to go to Cardiff on a Wednesday night, for example, and you get a room for like 60, 70 quid, which is great. And you spend double that on booze and shit, but it was fine. But now you look for a hotel room in Cardiff on a Wednesday, it's fucking stupid priced. You know, and I'm a bit of a brat, so I wouldn't go for like cheap rooms. I would always look for something, you know.
Yeah, well,
I've
I have given in, especially when I've been in London. I've got a piece of shit rooms for 60 quid and stuff, real bad. Where someone's screaming next door.
yeah.
I do like the better ones now. But I did stay in a nice one up here, the Mercure. I recommend. It's cool. It's got a load of Manchester shit down the bottom, and it's right by the city centre.
Nice.
Not that you crash with me, but if anyone else comes to Manchester and you want to stay in a hotel, stay in there. I think I've got family coming up in May. I'm gonna get them a room in there for a surprise. It's nice. It's right.
When you done that video a couple of days ago, you was walking from a bar to your apartment.
Yeah, got up the shop, yeah.
And it looks fucking great. It looks like you are centre of Cardiff-ish, but it just looks a little bit better though. It just looks a bit more fun.
So that's a street up here called Deansgate. It's that goes right to the top of the city, but there's lots of stuff around. But yeah, right where I am, there used to be nothing, right? And now it's surrounded by skyscrapers. There's these 4 new ones right over the road that look pretty cool. But it's so quiet. You come up a main road, you think, oh, you don't live here. You turn off into this little street and it's quiet. And this flat is on an L shape, so there's nothing in front, there's nothing to the right, there's nothing to the left. And even inside, that we're not opposite or next to anyone, it's almost on its own. But you're kind of near a load of these tall shit, and you're near everything as well. And the city centre is only a 10-minute walk as well, 15.
Nice.
And there are 5 pubs within like 3 minutes, 4 minutes walk as well. So you've got
you got
you can go close if you want.
Yeah, it's class.
Yeah,
it looks great.
And the food, yeah, the food places look amazing. I've seen about 100 places for food and booze that I just never ending. I want to try, and I've already know a few places that I like anyway. So yeah, I'll take you in for sure. If I find more stuff by then as well, I'll take you in a few that I like, and we'll maybe find something new that night as well. And we'll have a good night or two, I reckon.
Oh fuck yeah! I'll come for 2 nights. Hold a thought. Go on.
I think it's the best thing because it's a little bit further than you think. Probably it is probably take you a good few hours to get up. If you crash here and
it's a bus ride.
I'd come for a couple of nights. I'd come for a couple of nights and just we'll do something different each night. But basically, all will involve drinking and eating, and at least one day will involve schmashing.
Podcasting. Speaking of which, I need to take a piss. Please hold.
Take a piss. I'll hold. I'm going to refresh my water when he gets back. My water. Oh God. Don't like being big. Yeah. Thank you for dropping in, guys, into ODAM. And thank you if you came along to Last Rites earlier on Twitch. That will be available on YouTube tomorrow. I told her, mental case, to use a phone because that laptop fan does me head in. But we did go directly into talking about rape on there. So sorry, Twitch, about that. Oh yeah, my rent for giving her a parking space in my place will be an in-person podcast as well. I haven't told her yet. Don't need to. Tell her on the day. So that should be fun. Should be doing some of that. And yeah, I love it. I'm talking about food a lot because I'm really fucking hungry and I kind of mismanaged my food today. So it's going to be 9 p.m. when I finish here. Then I'm going to go and make food. A little late. Yeah, cheers to my empty cup of water. Still no booze since New Year's Eve. Still no booze. Hooked on booze. Humped the booze. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, Husky Boy. Cheers, Husky Boy. Take it easy, man. I'll see you in your stream tomorrow. I've been promising the last couple of times, but I've had a lot of shit on in the evenings. But I'm in tomorrow night. So I'll come in and see what's going on. Go take care of yourself, Brett. Everyone go and buy Husky Boy merch right now. Right now, I can see you. etc., etc., etc. The thing is, I'm at that amount of hungry that I'm tempted just to go over the shop and buy some shit, and I know I shouldn't. I did not buy the donuts though, which is good. That is a good thing, right? I'll show what I had yesterday. 5 jam donuts is what I had yesterday. And the Shane bag is still on the floor.
Ooh, 5 jam donuts.
No, I gave in yesterday, didn't I? Just ate all 5 in like 30 minutes.
Wasn't that your that was your meal on the podathon last January, right? Just literally a bag of donuts.
I had no food in the house. I had I think for the 12 hours I had the 5 donuts.
Sweet.
It's annoying me now. It always looks like I'm saying stop right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, your camera is going every now and again. It's going a bit blurry. Like
yeah, it's just focusing on the wrong thing. It's the lighting probably, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out.
Yes.
When I finally get a new system, I can control it with the software and stuff, which I can't on this right now. Yeah, man, get yourself a camera. Nice, buddy. Can I just grab some water real quick?
Go on, then. He's gonna bag himself some water. What a beautiful guy. What a beautiful specimen. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's been talking about, but I'm just gonna sit here and just blag on like whatever. So shit. Where's he going? Brock's gone. Enjoyed it, fellas. Have a good evening, everyone. Fuck you, Brock, bastard. So I'm gonna get some merch. I'm gonna buy Husky Boyle merch. I think we should all get Husky Boyle merch. Oh, I thought you guys know we weren't wrapping up, Brock. Who the fuck told you he was wrapping up, son of a bitch? But you can go, buddy. If you gotta go, you get the fuck out of there. He for those who don't know, Brock lives like a few doors down from the clan. So he's probably gotta go to a clan meeting. But Brock, we get it. You gotta go, brother. You get the fuck out of there. But we'll do a pod soon, Brock. We'll do a watch along pod thingy-majig with a couple of beers. Oh shit, no, you're sober for a month. So good on you, boy. Good on you. Oh, damn buzz. Nice. I'm wearing my Husky merch. Good for you. Good for you, Kelly. So which southern accent? The Brett Brock. My name is Brett Brock, and I drink and I fucking beat people to fucking death. Woo! I don't know if that's what we want to hear, but we're gonna go with that one anyway. Sweet. Bye.
I'm Brett Brock, and I always wash my hood, and that's my little grift on Twitch.
Yeah, my name is Brett Brock, and that's why I drink, and that's why I'm going sober this month. Here, cheese to you, cat. Cheese to you. I'm gonna get my crayons out right now. I'm gonna.
I always end up being always end up being Brett Black instead of Brett Brock. Mm-hmm. When I was on my grandmother's porch.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. I picked up a pencil for the very first time.
You sound like the Uncle Ben's guy. Yeah. So right now I'm gonna grab myself a purple crayon. I'm gonna bring out the colors in the rainbow. There's a great difference here. Hey, thanks, Jamie.
You haven't replaced booze with coffee. You're not drinking 19 cups of coffee, are you?
Probably.
Eat your dinner at 6 p.m. Drink no coffee after 2 p.m. and do that for a week.
Yeah, I'm getting shit in coffee lately. I mean, I can drink like 1 cup, maybe go for a half to a second cup in the morning. But I just don't know. Maybe I just need to buy decent coffee, like really good fucking stuff.
I've got options here. I've been banging instant at the moment, but it's not bad. But I've got a fucking machine little thing. I've got a press thing if I could be asked for that. And just under my window is a trendy coffee shop that I could go down and get coffee at. But so I've got 5 options. But I drink 2 cups in the morning, a pint of water, and that's how I set off for the day.
Nice.
Maybe a bit of food, and maybe 1 other coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I got two coffee machines. I've also got the instant shit as well, but I never use the coffee machines as much as I want to. Like, I love coffee, but I think I'm so fucking in the morning. It's just like, fuck setting the machine up. Let's just get instant coffee in there, and it's just
Well,
shit.
the one I've got is fine. It's quick, but there's only so many left of the ones I like, and yeah, I've just been banging through this into them. It's actually quite nice stuff as well, though. It's like not shitty stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got options for the coffee. But 2 to 3 cups is basically my day. Sometimes I'll occasionally have another one, but basically 3 is what I do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there we go, Kat. Yeah, I'm doing a running challenge again, 100 kilometers or 60 miles. I don't know. I picked that up 3 days on. I took today off. Then I'll do 3 days on. I'm going to Liverpool on Monday. Liverpool.
All right, mate. All right, there, mate.
All right, mate. Calm down.
Are you off to see Gary, mate? You know Gary from Liverpool.
Oh, don't. When Dave come up here, we went round when we went out for the 1 a.m. beer run. We were pretending to be scouts around town. We're like, "Hello, mate. How are you, mate? Thanks, mate." And then all the way back, and then we got back and watched all that classic Harry Enfield at full blast at 2 a.m. Like, hey, back, yeah. Oh, you do you? Do. Did I take the?
Do, mate. All right, mate. You know what I'm saying, mate? Come on, mate. Oh, calm down, mate.
So I've got to do none of that over there. So I'm going to the passport office in Liverpool. Ooh, and I'm going. I've got a gig, but I'm going to pull out of it and do one in Liverpool instead. I think so. I'm going to go and do hot water over there. Monday, hopefully, and I'll do it in this
husky boyo. All right, mate. I'm wearing my husky boyo top, mate. Husky boyo.
Yeah, apparently, it's a no-go to take the piss out of Scousers in Liverpool.
Scousers.
It's a no-go. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah, they get defensive, they fucking pussies, pleasure poops. Oh, she's referring to Brock's fucking yeah. It is fucking right though. My shit goes from
it's good to be firm though. It's good to be firm, isn't it?
It is like this. I had 2 really bad ones today. Like I had a poop and it was bad, watery, and then about 20 minutes later, same thing. Just like it's.
Also, in New Year, Brock had like X amount of beers. I don't know what, but then at one point he goes, "I've only got 4 left," and it was like 8 o'clock. I was like, well, "You better do a beer run." So he did.
Yeah.
Don't know how many he got, but then at some point, so I don't know if you remember this, Brett, in the first stream that I did. At some point, you drank 12 in 2 hours, and then like, I don't fuck around, and then you disappeared for hours, and then came back into the stream at like 3 a.m. my time, and your comment was like, WTF?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh, good for him though. Like you got to do it on times. You got to give yourself that fucking break. Your organs, you know,
especially if you're drinking every day. Yeah, you got to have breaks. You know,
it's the willpower to do it though. It's just, I mean, it's simple. Really, you just literally just do not buy booze and stock up your fucking fridge. But the problem is
when you're in it, when you're on a roll, it's hard. Isn't it? So it's hard to get that first one in. I can do it, but what I was finding, I was drinking more and more in December as well. So I haven't actually wanted to this year at all yet. So I'm intending to have about 3 weeks off, and then I'll have a couple of nights at the end of January, and then a couple at the beginning of February, and then I'll probably have a big one at some point in February, I reckon, which will end up into a 3-day bender. Yeah, so, but I'm pretty sure you were saying 12 went in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Think of my prostate.
God bless him.
I didn't have that many drinks. I had a bottle of wine and 2 beers on New Year's Eve, but that was enough for me. And then, but when I went out, I think I had about 14 pints out, and then cans the other week. That was a bad one.
So easy, literally, like come up with this idea of, yeah, we ain't gonna drink tonight, love. And then she'll be out there doing a little food shop, and she, I mean Kiwi, by the way, and you'll be like, oh,
Sheely.
Like, what do you want? Right, food. You're buying food, yeah, but what do you want tonight? And I thought we was.
She's the enabler. So we're getting to the truth now. She's the enabler.
Yeah.
She wants you pickled. She's up to something.
She wants my fucking organs pickled. Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
Well, she can't. She haven't got my previous job's life insurance anymore. So that's not what it is. I don't know. It's like
She wants you out of the way. She wants you just drunk and sat on the sofa.
yeah.
Well, she's up to no good.
I would happily accept that. I would definitely fucking, I endorse that. Yeah. Well, Kat, you have to come on the podcast. We'll do something. We'll arrange something soon so we can just have a mini drink-a-thon. We can just come in and out, get it on, get you on. Me and Carl can just go sleep for an hour, and you two can just chew the fat. We'll do something. But Katie does quite often ask about Kat anyway. She's like, "Oh, how is she?" Little lesbos.
She's in prison for rape, Keely, so that's why she's been around.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what she's done. As she assisted Andrew Tate, she was his enabler too. That was it. Oh, okay. I think I'm coming down with something. I got a sore throat. Like it's been for the last 6 hours. Been feeling something in the back of my throat.
That was me Christmas Eve. When Brett said do the stream, I went up to the shop to fill up my bag full of booze, and on the way back I started to feel it. I was like, oh no. And then all night, all the way through the podcast, I was like, it was getting worse and worse.
Yeah. It's been about 6 hours or so now, and it's just getting gradually worse. It's not like they can feel it there,
yeah. There's a few things going. There's a lot of COVID, there's a lot of flu, and there's bad colds and then other shit going around. So it's one of them. So
which variant are we on now of COVID?
I don't read the fucking news. I don't care. I think I gave my mum and brother COVID over Christmas. I don't give a fuck. I'm not taking a test.
Fuck it, yeah.
It's a bad cold, unless you die of it.
Unless you die, which is horrible. But I don't go out anywhere now. I mean, I haven't been out for quite some time. I walk the dog, and that's about it. Like I don't go to shops. I order mainly online, and it's So that's half the problem, right? So I'm not people, me specifically, I'm not interacting with people face to face. My immunity is fucking absolutely wank, horrible.
Yeah, I've been out a few times, but I'll be out. Hopefully more and more now. So
yeah,
a couple of gigs this month for a few, and then I'll take a break for a bit. I'm gonna go have a little holiday, and then lots more, and then I'll go to America. Coming to America. Fuck yeah.
Time to save a motherfucking day, yeah.
Good song. It's a good song. I watched the South Park Live 25th anniversary or whatever it was. Good times.
Lovely stuff.
Very lovely stuff.
Beautiful.
I don't know what's for dinner in the Dykes household tonight, apart from shame.
Shame. Oh, believe it or not, Halen actually cooked Chinese. He's been experimenting in the kitchen quite a bit lately. So he's cooked this chicken chow mein basically. So yeah,
nice. That sounds. But I could murder a chicken chow mein right now.
Yeah, chicken chow mein. I've been teaching him knife skills. I'm not I'm not great with a knife, but I know the basics. I've been teaching him how to do it properly. Not with a little Ponzi knife, with a big fucking proper, tuck your knuckles in. Don't fucking cut your fingertips off. So he's getting the hang of it. He's doing good. So we got a chicken chow mein, which I'll be smashing very shortly when this podcast is done.
That sounds good. Yeah, I got to cook, so I don't know what I'm gonna have. I could do a curry, but then that's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know. I've got
take away. You want to take away.
No. I'm keeping very frugal this month as well. I'm keeping all the costs in this month. It's going to help. It's going sober, not really drinking and not fucking doing too much. Yeah. But yeah, I got to put some money away so I can waste it
in America.
In one go. Well, that too, yeah. But yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do and need to do. So yeah, I'm trying to be a bit frugal this month, and then I'll live like a king for 3 weeks somewhere. No, I'll live like a king for 2 weeks and like a beggar for 1.
Yeah, plenty of homeless people in America, right? So you can just sit with them.
Yeah,
Steal their change when they pass.
I would. I'd happily shit in a big pot and boil it up and tip it over someone's head as they walk past, which I think about the LA homeless do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me your money, cunt. Just fucking Bruce and Martha Waynham. Blind them, kill them, and steal their cash.
There was also a guy that was going around. I mean, what the fuck are we listening to in your house? Well, also, there's also a guy going.
Fucking,
of course,
Leonard Skinner on, I think, in the fucking background.
Of course they have.
Yeah,
there's also a guy that was going around libraries. He went to the same library at university and he was tipping shit over people's heads when they study, and they couldn't catch him. I don't know if they ever did, but he did it 3 or 4 times at the same place. Went in with a big vat of shit and just tips it over students' heads and left. But they reckoned he worked at like a waste company or something. He had like an industrial container. Probably worked in the sewers and just collected it up. and
shit
just tipped it on people. Yeah. Shit.
Literally shit. Okay, that's fucking wild. Dirty bastards.
Kelly's comments are taking a while to get through here, I think, today. Don't overwork that brain.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Tuesday's fucking gone. Leonard Skinner. Welcome to the South. Woo-ha! Motherfuckers.
I think I just masturbated my eyeball.
Hope so. You deserve it.
I've got a bit itchy in the corner there. In the corner there.
Buying a new device soon. Whether it be a fucking laptop or a Chromebook, who knows? I'm thinking about a Chromebook for just because, less hassle, but keep this laptop, strip it bare, and just use this for fucking anything else I want to do.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Chromebooks, so yeah, do you read up on them, see if it's all right. Probably all right for a bit of streaming and a bit of basic shit.
I think so. How long do you want to go for? Do you want 5 more and then bang off?
Yeah, let's do 5 more, bang off, and then I'm going to go eat. I think I'm going to do a very basic pasta and pesto thing, just nice and quick.
Yeah, nice and fucking quick. Yeah, I haven't eaten much all day. I ate something earlier. I can't remember what I ate, but it was something simple as fuck. But I'm looking forward to food.
Beaners. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some shit done. I've got to sort my legs out in a minute. They're a bit stiff from yesterday, and then I'm going to lay in bed and watch whatever comes along. Podcasts. Bit of that.
Podcast and porn, baby.
It's already the weekend.
Practically is. It's practically here. Hey, not long till Christmas now. Not long till Christmas.
Last year, I remember thinking, the year's going to go because I wanted to do blah, 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 and it did. And then this year, I'm already planning stuff like May and August and fucking whatever, then trips and all that because, I can't sit still.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit around and actually save money, Carl. No, I want to spend it. I want to get on a plane and spend it and then complain to myself for 6 months. But at least I have a home this time, though. So I can't go wandering off for months.
Yeah. You was literally like a fucking wandering Jew last time, wasn't you? Just like, I ain't in a rush to come home. Fuck it.
No bills. It's like, this is how I'm living for a while.
And he did a good job. Got a good few fucking podcasts out there too in Brazil.
A lot, yeah. I enjoyed being at that one place in Búzios where I had the pool in the area. I went back there twice. We got some good ones in there. We had the Andrus ODAM one there as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that's a lovely fucking place. Wait, what was the podcast we done where you was basically dying? You was just fucking so ill.
I was in a hotel in Rio, and I'm pretty sure it was COVID the first time. And that was I was also in a terrible hotel. I hated it. It was noisy. It was horrible. It was shit. It wasn't what they promised. It just stank in there, and I was sick and dying. And it wasn't a good day for me.
Hang out your ass.
I was so sick, and I didn't do anything at all about it for 2 days. And then on like this third day, I went to the pharmacy to get some pills to just pill up on.
Yeah.
Which then made me feel better, funnily enough. So I should have done that on day one. But I just didn't. I just stayed in.
Cure yourself, man.
Yeah, I do now. I'm more careful with it now. If I start to feel a bit sick, I'll pop a couple of anti-inflammatories and stuff because when I get sick, the old throat does swell up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So pop a couple of them, it brings it down.
It's getting hard. Like it's getting harder to swallow now. Fuck. I think I'm gonna be bedbound tomorrow. Too much cock. That's what it is.
This is you seem to be exactly where I was Christmas Eve, man. I hope you get over whatever it is quickly, but it sounds like you're getting sick. So hopefully,
it's literally like 6 hours, 7 hours ago. I just fucking started to feel.
Yeah,
it'll be all right. Maybe just diet. Be AIDS.
Yep.
We need to bring it back. We need to bring that shit back, man. You know.
Christmas Day, I just sounded.
Yeah, that fucking voice clip you sent me was horrible.
Yeah. So it's like that for about 3 or 4 days as well.
Mm.
And I was just asking my niece for Imodium, so I didn't share. I was like, some Imodium.
Get some drugs, please. In there.
My niece has got the same problem. Basically, it's genetic, but no one in my family ever did anything about it or told me. But my niece is she's living a proper strict diet now. But she has problems as well. So she's always got like Imodium on her. So it's like, can I have some of your shit drugs, please?
Can I have some of those really piss poor drugs that are not really drugs, but I want some anyway? Give them to me.
They do a great job. I like the little instants. The official branded instants are the best ones. They dissolve in a second. They're like little minty things. 2 of them. You're kind of plugged up.
Beautiful. Should we go and eat?
Yeah, let's go and eat. Let's get the fuck out of here. Pigs, thank you for dropping in. It got low energy at the end, but we did try. We did a good hour 40. And yeah, the last rites with Shannon will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out on Twitch.
Goody.
And yeah, cheers for coming for ODAM. We're back properly now. We hope to see you regularly, and we'll have better energy and do some more stuff soon, I think. But Kat, especially nice to see you, Madame. Sorry for saying you're in prison for rape. I didn't mean it. Didn't mean it.
Lady Cat. And bye, piggies.
Goodbye, oinkers. Look.
Buy TLR merch.
You can buy TLR oinkers at some place that's probably, don't know, figure it out.
It's the best merch on the planet. It's the best merch ever.
Ever. Apart from this, Husky Boy.
Well, that's second to best. But yeah, apart from that, fuck, all else merch is bollocks. I'm going to end podcast. I love you all. You stink of pig shit because you are pigs and you're rolling shit all day. Carl, any last words? Oink, oink, oink.